What is up, everybody? Welcome to Travis and Vic's Drunken Horror Adventures. I hate to keep saying it, but I'm Travis. I'm sober. It's a sad state of being, but it is what it is. It's Friday. Friday, what the fuck date is it? November 9th, 2018. I'm just leaving AMC Theaters, Louisville, Kentucky. Just watched Overlord, which gets a 7.1 currently on IMDb. That may go up or down. Just based on the fact that the movie just came out technically last night, but Friday release. Today's Friday, so some ratings still to be had there. And Overlord, what I would call this again, let me just kind of give you some info if you didn't read the description. I try to do these little breakdowns, pretty quick shows, spoiler free. I'll just kind of give you my thoughts on the movie without giving you, major spoilers for the plot or anything else, so that you're able to watch it and figure out whether it's worth spending your money on to go and see it at the theater. Now, Overlord, again, 2018, produced by J.J. Abrams. Of course, we know him from Cloverfield. Not a spoiler, it's on the IMDb. This is not part of the Cloverfield universe, just FYI. This movie is Resident Evil meets Saving Private Ryan meets Call of Duty meets House of the Dead meets even Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's a movie that's about the D-Day invasion, but before the D-Day invasion can take place, you've got a United States group that are being dropped in to take out a tower that will allow, obviously, the Allies in World War II to move forward with D-Day, the Normandy invasion, the invasion in France there. So that's kind of the backdrop of this movie. It takes place in France. Kind of got a Wolfenstein vibe to it as well. You got a bunch of soldiers trying to take out a tower, basically. And for the first hour or so, you don't get a lot of weird horror to it. You get mainly this kind of wartime Inglourious Bastards type vibe, where they've got a mission, they're trying to complete the mission to end the war and obviously defeat the Nazis. But from there, this is where things get weird. You've got the whole idea of a super serum, kind of like Captain America, but going the other way, that creates monsters or zombies, and that's the basic gist of this movie. It's not a very complicated story or a complicated plot. It's all about fun. The reason why I compared it to Resident Evil is not so much for the zombie aspect of it, but more so for the movie aspect of Resident Evil, where it's not straight horror. It's more like action horror, a little bit of sci-fi thrown in. And it's if you're coming in expecting to get a balls to the wall horror story, this is not it. This is a bloody rampage. Absolutely, there's a lot of blood, a lot of head explosions. Well, maybe not a lot of head explosions. There's some head explosions, some decent gore, little CGI here and there. And again, this movie's all about fun. It's not so much about scares. I don't even know. There's a couple maybe attempts at jump scares, but again, the movie's not all about suspense or drama or tension. It's again basically an action horror movie in the same vein of Resident Evil or House of the Dead. I will say this: it's better than House of the Dead. It's better than the Resident Evil sequels. It's about right there with the first one. The first one's not bad, even though it's kind of whoring out the name of Resident Evil, the video game, which is awesome, and more so horror than the movie we got with Resident Evil. But Overlord, I don't know much of the background about Overlord. I'm not sure if this is based on anything. A lot of people said, one of the reviews I saw on IMDb was that this is not, Call of Duty Zombies like maybe you would hope for, but it's still a fun ride. And that's basically what I would say about it. I don't play Call of Duty, but I've seen it played before. I know what the hell Call of Duty is, and Call of Duty Zombies is apparently an offshoot of that. Didn't get a whole lot of the zombie thing. So if you're wanting to come into this to watch a cool zombie movie, it's not so much that either. You're not getting Day of the Dead out of this movie, where you've got military and zombies. There's a little bit of that, but this is more so just, again, a military mission, and then you get a little bit of weirdness thrown in. You got German scientists, and again, this is not a spoiler. I think this is pretty obvious. German scientists trying to create some sort of super army, which is not a new story at all. It just kind of fleshes out just a quick story of how they go about it here. And I enjoyed it. Glad I didn't spend money on it, I will say that. Just kind of like how I felt about Suspiria. Suspiria was a good movie, and I talked about this most recently. A good movie, but I don't think I would have wanted to spend a full ticket on it. Not like I did Halloween. I would have been perfectly happy spending the full ticket on Halloween. Obviously, I mean, I've talked about this before. I'm an A-list member, AMC Stubs program, so I get 3 movies a week, $20 a month. Totally worth it. This one was one of my 3 for the newest week, so I'll be checking out a couple other movies next week. Not too much horror out right now, so we can only go with what we can go with. So this movie, what do I think of it in terms of ratings? Again, not a true horror movie. So that kind of knocks points off of it right there. But for what it was, what it tries to be, I think it's successful. It's a fun romp into the action horror genre. Not a ton of these types of movies out there. So do I think it really separates itself from all the rest? Not really. It's about on par, again, with Resident Evil, the original. I think 2003 or so is when that came out. I can't remember exactly. Maybe even before that. I saw it at the movie theater. I know that, and I was kind of like, damn it, this isn't what I hoped. But, this did its own thing. It was fun. It really mixed a lot of, video game vibes. That's really what I got from it. It wasn't so much action that it was just like pointless and mindless, but there was enough to keep you interested, not make it boring. Not my favorite movie of the year by any means, but I'm glad I saw it. Just glad I didn't pay for it at the same time. It definitely beats out The Nun. As far as movies that I've seen this year, it's right there with The Predator, and I know that's kind of a polarizing opinion for some people who hated The Predator. I know there's a lot of people that did hate The Predator. I was one that liked it. I just didn't think it was as good as the first or second or third, but it was still, a fun movie to watch. Kind of get the same idea here. Good movie, not great. I think I just put it right at 3 out of 4 machetes. I know you're tired of me saying that, but there's a lot of movies right now that are just kind of good, but they're missing the great factor. I did not give Halloween a 3 out of 4, so at least there's that. This is just another, one that it's good, but there's just something that's not quite there, and I can't really put my finger on what it is. Maybe a little bit more gore, a little bit more horror, and we would have been going a little higher here. It could have been easy for this to be dropped, too. So the fact that they were able to keep an almost 2-hour runtime interesting is a testament to the fact that the movie was good. And I could see a sequel coming out of this with a similar story, different circumstances. It doesn't set up for a sequel in any way, shape, or form that I'm aware of. I didn't watch any after-credit scenes, so no spoiler there. But yeah, I mean, if you've got the money, maybe a $5 Tuesday would be worth it. If you're part of a subscription program, yeah, check it out that way. Just, don't spend the full ticket value on it, and I think you'll be fine. But that's all I've got. I don't want to get into any of the other things that I've watched lately. I was just on the air 2 days ago, so not a lot else to share. You can email us tnvhorror@gmail.com, TravinVicHorror on Twitter, on Instagram, travinvichorror.wordpress.com is our website, which for the millionth time needs to be updated by me. I roll solo a lot, and that's what I did today. You can tweet me at PhenomenalTLD if you have differing opinions. If you liked it a lot more, liked it a lot less, tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me what you expected or what was there that I missed. But again, fun ride, just not worth a whole lot of money to go see in the theaters. Just my opinion, and that's all I got for you. So anyway, we will be back. If I don't come on with a solo show, we'll be back November 20th to talk about the top 10 horror movies of 1986. So that is it. I will talk to you later. Peace.